You're listening to Ears Have Eyes, live at C-Space Eau Claire. We're celebrating the 2-year anniversary of our Sound Art radio program on CJSW 90.9 FM, broadcasting from Treaty 7 territory in southern Alberta, home to the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda, and Métis Nation of Alberta Districts 5 and 6. You can also find Ears Have Eyes on Golden Co-op Radio on the traditional territory of the Ktunaxa people. We're your hosts, each and every month, Caitlind Brown
and Wayne Garrett. We've opened today's program with a performance from local musician, producer, engineer, composer, and live performance organizer, Chris Dadge. Chris's improvised piece uses a variety of small traditional instruments, household objects, and field recordings to respond to the theme of today's episode: red hot, smoldering, burning, boiling over. Our first theme references the heat-seeking desires of wintertime, Valentine's Day, and synesthesia.
Our program today includes 7 local sound artists: Audrey Cockett, Chris Dadge, Christina Milinusic, Hermitess, Keith Rodger, and Numb.
Each of these performers approached a sound art, experimental music, noise, spoken word, and auditory aesthetics from a different perspective with distinctly different voices and conceptual priorities. We're also joined by Brad Hawkins, a musician himself, who is capturing sound for tonight's recording. Over the next hour, we'll introduce each performer who will share their work responding to Red Hot, Sound as Color. Next month, tune in to hear the same sound artists respond to the new theme: New Green, Shifting, Sprouting, Shy, and Splendorous.
The next performance comes from Numb, an interdisciplinary duo consisting of Maryam Sirvan and Milad Bagheri, founded in 2010 in northern Iran. Numb concentrates on electroacoustic music, sound art, and multimedia performance installation, creating immersive audio-video compositions with the help of digital signal processing and data manipulation. Their work today reflects these concentrations with an emphasis on rhythmic patterns, harmonic textures, and digitally processed instruments and live vocals. This is Numb. You just heard from Numb. The next performance is the first of two pieces from Audrey Cockett, a spoken word poet, filmmaker, educator, and ecologist settled on Treaty 7 land in Calgary-Mohkinstsis. Anger, passion, love, grief, all burn shades of the same color, red hot.
Audrey Lane's piece will be followed by Christina Milinusic, a professional live sound practitioner and emerging artist, a recent graduate of the University of Lethbridge's Individualized Multidisciplinary Master of Arts program. Her soundscape compositions weave together field recordings with acoustic and electronic instrumentation to create montages that actuate sonic observation and evoke unique listening meditations. Christina's upcoming composition, Red Hot, blends NASA recordings, a soundscape catalog of Tesla motors, ham radio, and boiling water. This is Audrey Lane Cockett, followed by Christina Milinusic.
My body is worried about me. So it stopped being hungry. Freeze everything. All digestion energy diverted to adrenaline, fists up. I stopped sleeping deeply, in case I need to take flight at the slightest bump in the night. It is trying to take care of me. How do I tell my body that it is just a broken heart, just the intangible loss of a future, just the unknown, thick, unknown of a career in a pandemic, just doom scrolling through climate anxieties, gentrified genocide, big ancient trees, and corporate endorsed RCMPs, political lose-lose, and divisive pitted fear, fucked up, fuck you, fuck this, fucking fuck live streams of spiritually wrapped capitalist catalyst or information wrapped shame, blame, bullying, belittling, bullshit, and performative happy gag success suck. My body is worried about me. How do I tell my body thank you for trying to help me? To say, dear body, I feel very seen in all this pain. So many have tried to normalize or minimize, but despite all that minimizing messaging, you are trying to do something. You care enough to try, and that means a whole lot. Thank you for seeing how real all of this is, for feeling it. Thank you for trying to help. But it is not fight, flight, or freeze solvable. It's not adrenaline soluble. How do I tell my body thank you? Let's sleep and uncoil intestines. Feel the sun. It's going to be okay. Or not. Either way, you deserve to be nourished and at peace for at least part of every day. You deserve rest. Thank you for standing up for me. Thank you for seeing me, body.
You're listening to a special live edition of Ears Have Eyes on CJSW 90.9 FM and Golden Co-op Radio. Ears Have Eyes was named for the intersensorial experience of navigating wild spaces at night, when your ears prick like eyes squinting into the darkness. What can the invisibility of sound illuminate? How does the intimacy of listening open our eyes to ideas we might otherwise overlook? How do we look with our ears and listen with our eyes?
The next performance comes from Keith Rodger. In his own words, Keith is a musician from Calgary, currently living in Calgary, where he works as a musician. His upcoming multi-instruments improvisation reflects on folk melodies and English language vocal stylings. This is Keith Rodger.
You've been listening to Ears Have Eyes live on CJSW 90.9 FM and Golden Co-op Radio. We're your hosts, Caitlind Brown
and Wayne Garrett.
We're coming to the end of our program. This special live episode was recorded at Sea Space Eau Claire, where we're currently artists in residence until the end of the month. We have events unfolding here all month long every weekend for our annual wintertime art series, The Hibernation Project. Thank you to Sea Space Projects, Sean Denny, the City of Calgary, our sound technician Brad Hawkins, our amazing volunteers Taryn and Blythe, the audience joining us, and the sound artists on today's program. If you'd like to learn more about the artists, see photos of the event, or submit your own sound art, experimental music, spoken word, or noise to future episodes of the program, visit hibernationproject.ca and find the tab Ears Have Eyes.
Next month, we're returning with our second live episode, recorded tonight, where musicians respond to the theme, New Green, shifting, sprouting, shy, and splendorous. Tune in, same time, same place, on Wednesday, March 13th at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. We're ending today's episode with a final spoken word performance by Audrey Cockett, followed by Hermitess. In the words of artist and musician Jennifer Crighton, Hermitess is the project of an aging and slightly reclusive witch, dreaming simultaneously in music and images. Layered orchestral textures, harmonic voice, and pedal-driven magic conjure a fleeting fever dream. This is Audrey Cockett. Stay tuned for Hermitess.
Truth can eat my tongue any time it likes, even when it is not a graceful thing, even when I gag, spit, spite, and hex it. Truth is a welcome drink. I intend to be enchanted, enchant, 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 enchant. I planted 500,000 seeds. Only 3 of them grew, and that was okay because 3 of them grew, broke through their own shell. That's the hardest part for a seed, and I get that. The cliff's too steep, the ground's too deep, and I just sit here on the surface holding the stone, asking, how can I plunge my hands through till it can feel my marrow, till I can feel my marrow? I would happily transplant here. Work on the flawed ways. I listen to trees. It doesn't feel like enough when I try to sing. I wonder if they hear the pine in my noise. I wonder what they think of the train, whistle ripping, piston whip through valley, churn and burn and bustle, churn and burn and bustle, churn and burn and bustle. Today is more quiet than some days. A million immemorial moments birthed and died, and yet here it all is. A mountain at my back, an ant crawling on my stomach. How can I become more a part of it, of the scree cliff aching to be below itself, or perhaps that's just me I see in it. I wonder if I keep sitting here, would I decay as the deer droppings do, detritus and detritivore? Would the woodpeckers burr and bore into my belly button, looking to lick the meat from my navel? Would the magpie tear the hair from my scalp, line its eggs? Would the suppressed fire burn itself out, a last charred ash of a consumed forest? If I sat here long enough, would my water be exhumed by root? Would the rain come and dissolve away my sulfurous self? Would my mother come to sit on the mountain and ask how she can become more a part of it? I am trying to listen, to and from. Too much is unsung. That's what I heard. Too much is unsung. So I will let the mountain steer my umbilical tongue and chant, enchant, 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 until we are more a part of it.
You have reached a secret point in the night when we've realized we have about 7 minutes left to our 1 hour broadcast that we need to fill, because probably of the adrenaline of everyone rushing into this live to air version of Ears Have Eyes. So we have a 100% optional recommendation or suggestion or thought or idea or experiment.
Yeah, we'd like to extend an invitation to the sound artists here to form an improvised collaboration around the theme Red Hot, if inclined. You might say as much. And so feel free to participate or not to your comfort level. And I'll start this cruddy stopwatch app as usual, and have fun. If you want to participate, if you don't feel like that's conceptually appropriate for what you're doing, that's fine. And thank you.
And desire, pain, grief, any kind of wanting. Any kind of wanting. wanting.
There is water in the corner and hot chocolate mix. There might be a couple like little pizza bites that you can just cram into your mouth, but very few. So first come, first serve. And soda pop.
And bathrooms are outside. Thank you very much.